Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I did want to say to um first off, thank you to my new subs for being here. And yesterday, for my friends of the United Kingdom, my condolences to you. My condolences have been with people around the world with these overlords and people like even in the United States. It's a sad state of affairs when we are let down and trusting of people that have for generations pulled their funds and finances together in governments, and the people don't benefit from it. But so, I mean, really, if you loved your queen, I'm glad you did, and I wish I could love people like that really pretend. It's a pretense. I don't care. You don't sit with some crown on your head while people are starving in your country. And there's a lot of people that have admiration for those type of people. I am not one of them. And Tucker Carlson yesterday, what a sellout dude. You'd think he was freaking British or something from the way he was talking. That, like how in, what was it, Bali, how, or Africa, he was talking about, like, I think Bali, how England had went in and built like some kind of cathedral, and then like a beautiful architecture, and then when they left, well, he's like, and they didn't do anything like that, but Britain did. I'm like, and you admire that? So you're telling me that the Native Americans here in my state of Minnesota loved the Mall of America, and we should be grateful for whichever standing president or the governor, whoever signed that piece of paper with those zoning laws in my state. We should be proud and happy that you did that. It's a big, horrible monstrosity. But people will admire, especially people that live in the cities. And I know, once again, I, I, I'm not putting you down for living in the city. I grew up in Minneapolis, right on the outskirts. Spent a lot of my time in the city and around people that are, to me, less fortunate, that didn't have the brains to get out of there when they should have. If you're dying there and you're getting older, that's horrible. It's a very horrible thing. But in Canada, it's just like you don't even own your land. You're just like on it, you know. It's okay, you got to pay for everything, but you can't even own a piece of land, you know. I don't admire that. And, all the pomp and circumstance and all that. Like, I mean, the biggest thing that I thought was ever cool about any of that was the carriage and the horses. That was in Princess Diana. And that's really, really not only the children that went missing back in the 60s and the 70s that are still not accounted for through Buckingham Palace in the basement. Whatever anybody says, I know these things are real around the world, and it is the higher ups in the world, the people that carry large amounts of wealth, that look the other way. Why people. And here's another thing. You know who Jimmy Silva is, right? Or Silver, however you want to say it, or Seville. Um, uh, Having sex with dead people, would actually go into the morgue and have sex on dead people, and was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. Well, too, and what is this? And if you think about it in your Christian minds, if that's where your heart lies, There's only one king, you know. And these people, they're you know, whether they want to call themselves kings and queens and gods or whatever, it's bullshit. They're no different than you or I. The only difference in them between you and me and them is they're willing to boff their cousin or their brother or sister and move to another country and procreate with the same bloodline. You and I aren't. There's a difference there. It's a big, big difference, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I have no admiration for the things they've done in the world that other people would look at it and think, "Oh, that's admirable." No, excuse me, blah blah blah. Well, I was listening to Bruce Seasall earlier. It must be the barometric metric pressure. We've had storms. Oh, last night was so wicked. We thought one of our trees in the yard got it by lightning, but I didn't see any damage out there. But it was really bad, so bad I really didn't get much sleep. You can tell too. I know, but yeah, it was that was a rough one. But I'll sleep better tonight. And well, we do have more rain coming today. It's been on again, off again all day, but so far. And then my internet goes down too. And if I do get cut off, I love you all. And I did deep clean my phone. I have been doing that. Maybe it'll snap back to its original, um, letting me record as long as I want. Well, about a half hour. Sometimes it used to be about 45 minutes with this one. I have another one plugged in, and that's always been my lame one. Um, but that day I was out looking at the sky, I pointed this up at the sky and it just shut right off. And then I forgot to turn it off for a couple days and I thought I had. So, um, yeah, I might have wrecked it myself. But if I do get cut off, I'll just clean my other one really quick and um post this one. And then if I have something more to say, I'll get on here. Otherwise, I do have a video camera. Well, I have one on my laptop too, and I have another phone too. But I have a video camera that was given to me by my daughter-in-law. There's my topic too. I'll be right back with that. But not my daughter-in-law, but the Queen's um, ex-daughter-in-law, deceased daughter-in-law. But she gave me her and my granddaughters gave me a really nice streaming video camera. So I do have to um, plug that in. I suppose the software will install itself for it. But I wanted to set my room up a little bit different before I did that. And I've had so many things going on, or just whatever. It just hasn't happened the way I wanted to. So, but back to, oh, and really quick, today is exactly a half a year minus 3 days. I've exercised every day except for 3 days this whole half a year so far. So, which I am feeling much better. It was such hell to not even be able to move all the accidents and things that I had, just one thing right after another. And it was so out of my nature not to be able to do things like with my broken shoulder and arm in a couple places. And that was right after broken toes, and a horse fell on me, and I had caught Doug out of a tree. Um, and I hoisted him up like that. When he came back down, he had the chainsaw in his hand too. He was able to set it down, But I still had him on my shoulder. But when I hoisted him so he wouldn't fall, my shoulder and my arm cratered right here in two places, and my shoulder was the tendons were all messed up and the bones just so yeah, I had to really so and that was right after broken bones and right after my horse fell on me. I had blood in my um urinary tract, and they were hoping it wasn't in my kidneys, which it wasn't. And that was right after an operation on my sinuses. It's like, and then on my jaw for my teeth, and it's like, oh, one thing, you know. And then I with my I got a gazillion allergies, like crazy things, like well. And I think a lot of my allergies everybody else has too. They're finding out that, like even black plastic or paper. I'm allergic to paper. Like even this cigarette right here, I'm allergic to this paper. And all wood products, wood. So like when we go to put something in our house, um, and petroleum products, all of them. So what do I do? Um, Wood or plastic? There's really not much choices, even with all the food I'm allergic to. It's crazy. Okay, back to my daughter-in-law. And that's the topic of my video today. Sweet little Miss Lady Diana that I loved with all my heart was so embarrassed. I mean, that skank of a husband of hers was out there sniffing around Camilla or Carmela or however you say that dog face, her name, right in front of Diana and her sons at their estate at Windsor Castle. He's out there riding past with the horse with her, and they're meeting up right outside the house, right in front of that woman. If that had been my daughter-in-law, and I don't care if I was queen or not, I would get up in the whole front of the whole world and say, "You're excommunicated. Get your ass, get your shit, and get the fuck out of here." And that's, I mean, of course, would I give him a castle? No. I wouldn't even name that thing. I would have gave him a brand new name. So that's how I feel. And I don't care who says what. You have admiration for that type of thing, and those people that would treat a sweetheart like Princess Di like shit and not even stand up for her in public in front of people. Yeah, okay, I almost got real bad there, but there's just um see, yeah, she was going to come out with a lot of things, and we heard her say a lot of things of what was going on. And so you either believe that crap that didn't like her, or you believe her. And I choose to believe her. And some people say she's still alive. I hope that's true. I really do. I hope she's off on some island somewhere, getting a nice little suntan, drinking pina coladas and eating bonbons after she has a good meal, that is, and whatever. Maybe having some good smoke or being with her best friend. Of course, they did kill him, didn't they? Um, but you know, I liked her. And that's where my heart lies when I think, and maybe that's because, well, I don't know why that's because I just did. I liked her personality. Some people like the queen. I think she looked like a snaggled tooth old hag. And yeah, I'm getting older too, but I mean, I'm even talking from day one when I was a little girl. And I watch these people like, because the people that raised me are close relatives to them, the Masons that raised me. Yeah, even my birth father was a Mason, and the Mason that raised me was a 33rd degree Mason with Shriner's Rites and a Jesuit priest. So what I learned in my household wasn't like the typical households. It was a little bit different. There's some people that might have went to Jesuit school, and that's a tiny bit different than that too. But I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying, I think you know a little more. And there's some people that know a little more, and they aren't saying anyway, because their whole life is just about themselves, what you're going to make for money, and who are you going to offend, and who are you not going to offend. You know, it's just like people I was saying the other day, people that are demonetized on this platform because their um, content is controversial. Well, if we can't have a conversation about things that are controversial, where are you going to have it? None of my videos are made for kids, and everything I say is controversial, most likely. But I mean, if your videos aren't made for kids, what do they care? Then you got some ditz on there that gets like 7.5 million views for licking her phone. That's not controversial. You don't think that that's a bad practice to be showing children on the internet? Then you're going to promote something like that, but you're going to shut down somebody talking about child trafficking and hold them back? That just doesn't make sense to me, you know? That reminds me too, thank you for the people that have shared some of my videos. I really appreciate that. I really do. Um, some of my newer folks here might not know, but I wrote my House of Representatives on behalf of wards of the state, people that are orphans, because the influx of people coming over our borders right now and the children that are alone with the coyotes that come over here, or they're kidnapped and they're brought over here by strangers to be used in our country. It is not all about just getting the votes. It's about trafficking. These borders they want open is for trafficking. Drugs, yeah. They don't care who lives or dies with that either. But the biggest money maker, do you know you can make thousands and thousands of dollars off of one child? Thousands through the years and right up to the end of their lives. If they live beyond 15, which is usually the age where they're no longer desirable, you know, so you can imagine the hell that they go through in their tiny life childhood, you know. So people that are affiliated with any kind of government at this point are my enemies, and that's the way I look at it. And I'm going to say, like Tucker Carlson, I heard Lionel Nation say he liked the Queen. Well, that's good. I'm glad you did. Good for you. You also live in New York City, so maybe that's where you make that's your habitat, you know. So we are like products of our environment, aren't we? At least that's what the psychologists say. But that's not always so, you know. Cheers. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, but it's not nothing new. I mean, if you wanna like somebody and admire them, have at it. But you know, it's just whose side are you on? All these stupid people running around. Honestly, like I told Doug this morning, he was talking about the government again, and I'm like, you know, I'm just so sick of you people. And I used to vote, but I'm like, in long time ago, and I am a member of the Independent Party. because there isn't a Democrat or Republican that would have ever represented me. And I voted for Perot, and when he didn't get in, that was it. I had enough of them. Um, the thing is, it's like I told him, I said it's like going to a football game and you're watching this team play, but they're all members of the same team. So who you're rooting for, you know? People just don't understand that, you know, how closely connected these bloodlines are. You'll think, okay, and I use it as an example, but it's such a good example. Take some of the people in Egypt, the dark-skinned people. They're like browner than any black person I ever saw. They're literally like this color, literally, and they're called Caucasians. Do you know why? Not just because of the Caucasus where their bloodline um, migrated from and whatnot, but because of the dark cabal entanglement. You could be black and still be, um, well, they wouldn't be able to consider you Caucasian, but yeah, it's just like the Prince Hall in Masons for the black Masons, you know. Um, and there's thousands of affiliated groups, so I'm not just going to say just like that one specific is, you know, who they are, because the branches of that situation are really widespread, probably more than people really realize, you know. So, like the oaths that the cops and all the military and all of them take.